You are welcome to Maths with Coach Sarah. In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at finding the LCM of algebraic expression. This is an algebraic expression. You have 6x squared y, 9x y squared. There are different methods of finding this. Let me use the first method to solve it. Now I'm going to divide two of them together using their prime factors. So what can divide? I have 2 can divide. The first one that can divide, if 2 is going to 6, that will give me 3. I'll bring down my x squared y. Then I'll bring down this 9xy squared. What x can divide? 3 can divide. This is a normal way of doing LCM of numbers. 3 dividing 3 will give me 1. And you have x. I may not need necessarily to write this 1 because 1x squared y is still the same x squared y. And 3 into 3 into 9 will give me 3. I'll bring down x, y squared. What else will divide? There's still 3 here. 3 will divide. 3 into, I'll bring down this one, x squared y. 3 into 3 will give me 1. So I'll bring down my x squared, xy squared. Now we have the algebraic terms. Now let me first use x to divide. If x divide x squared, that will be x. So look at it like this. If you have x squared is x times x divided by x. This will cross this, leaving only x. So we have x. And I'll bring down my y because I cannot divide y. If x divide x, y squared, x will cross this, we have y squared. The next thing, I'll still use x. If x divide x, y, x will cross x, and I have y. And what of y? I'll bring down this y squared. Let me extend my lines. Now let me use y. Since x has finished, y into y will give me 1. Y into y squared will give me y. Now I have y again. I'll bring down this. Y into y will be. I'll finally finish dividing this. This is the prime factors of this. Now to get my LCM, I'll just multiply all these factors there. 2 times the LCM becomes 2 times 3 times 3 times x times x. Don't mind the way I'm writing this. Times y times y times y. That's y squared. Let me write it y squared times y squared. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. I have 18. X times x is x squared. And I have y squared because y times y is y squared. Oh, x times x is x squared. And we have y squared. So the LCM of 6x squared y and 9xy squared is 18x squared y squared. So another way of solving this for 6x squared y, another way of solving it, 6x squared y. I'm going to express it as a product of its prime factors. We know that 6x squared y is 6x is 2 times 3. 2 times 3 will give you 6. Now times x squared, don't mind me, times x squared times y. These are what you multiply to give you 6x squared y. And now 9xy squared. So how do you get 9xy squared? You get it by 3 times 3 will give you 9. 3 times 3 times x times y squared. Now, anyone that is doubled, you are going to leave them in their power. This is 2. only 1 2, that is 2 to the power 1. 3 to power 1. For this one here, you have 3 into 2 places. We're going to write it this way: 3 squared times x times y squared. So I have rearranged it, showing their powers. You have to show their powers. Now, for you to get the LCM, start picking each of them. Pick the highest power. 2 is only 1, so I'll pick 1 2. The highest power of 2 here is 2 is to 1. That raised to power 1. That is only 1 2. I will now pick the LCM. Will be now I'm multiplying 2. 3 has, you see 3 here. This one have 3. This one have 3 to power 1. This one have 3 to power 2. I will pick the highest power, the one that has the highest power of any number. So the highest power for this 3 is 2. I'll pick 3 times 3 squared. Now you have x. You have x here. You have x squared. So the highest power of x is squared times x squared. I have y squared. The one that have the highest power. The power is this, what they are raised to. That is the power, is y squared. So times y squared. So that now that I have collected the one with the all of them, but I chose the highest power. I chose the highest power for each of the factors. I'll multiply it together. So 2 times 3 squared is 9. 3 squared is 3 times 3, 9. 2 times 9 will give you 18. I have 18. X squared times y squared will give you s squared y squared. You can see the two methods still gave me the same answer. So either you express it as their prime factors and choose the highest power for each of the factor and then multiply them together to get it, or you start dividing it. But I would advise you master this method because that will help you when the thing is very complicated. If there are some cases that it will be complicated, that will not be easy to divide, you have to use this, expressing it as a product of their factors to find the LCM. So the LCM of 6x squared 9xy squared is 18x squared y squared. Now let's look at this. We have to express it as, we have to find the LCM of 12a squared b and 18ab squared. Now remember, let me use the method of expressing it as a product of their prime factors. So if I'm to express this as a prime the product of their prime factors, it means the prime numbers that gave this 12ab. So for 12, the prime numbers that gave 12 is 2 times 2, which is 4, and 4 times 3, which is 12, times a squared times b. Now for 18 ab squared, the prime factors is, that's 9 times 2, and 9 times 2 is 2 times 9 is 3 times 3, 3 times 3 times ab times 8 times b squared. So remember, you're going to leave it in their powers. This is the 12. This one is, let me bring this one down. 2 times 2 is 2 squared. 2 squared times 3 times a squared times b. For 18ab squared, let me express it with their powers. That becomes 2 times 3 times 3 is 3 squared. 3 squared times a times b squared. As I said before, you are going to choose all these prime factors, but you are going to choose the highest power. Now 2, this is 2 to power 1, this is 2 to power 2. Their LCM, I'm now writing their LCM. Their LCM will now be, I will choose 2. The one, the highest power of 2 is 2 to 2 squared. 2 squared times, I have 3 here, I have 3 here, but this one has the highest power. 3 squared times 3 squared times, I have a here, but the highest power of a is a squared. I'll choose the highest. A squared times, there is b here, but the b squared is the highest, times b squared. So 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. So 4 times 9 will give me what? 36. 36. 8a squared. 36 times a means 36. 36 times a squared means 36a squared times b squared. That's 36a squared b squared. This is the LCM of this algebraic expression. Now look at this. S squared minus 9 and s squared plus 3 to find the LCM of this expression. This one is one expression, this is another expression. Now when you look at this, s squared minus 9 can be written as 3 squared. So because this one is s squared and this one is 3 squared, we call it difference of 2 squared. There are 2 squared. So there's a way of writing difference of 2 squared. I know that this one is 3 here. If I want to make this one, if I want to reduce it to a square, it will be s squared minus 3 squared. And how you can write that kind of expression is by how you factorize s squared minus 3 squared. S squared minus 3 squared. That means there are two squared together. The way to do it is by going this way. Is to write x plus 3 bracket x minus 3. If you multiply and open this bracket, it will give you s squared minus 3 squared. When you simplify this thing, giving s squared minus 16. You know that 16 means 4 squared. You can write it as s plus 4 bracket s minus 4. So that is how difference of 2 squares is done. So looking at this, s plus 3, x minus 3, that is for this one. And remember now, let me factorize this one. S squared plus 3x can be, if I want to factorize it, so what to do is I'll bring one x out in bracket x plus 3. Because this one have x, this one have one x in common, that's why I brought one x out. X plus 3. So if I multiply it, it will give me this. X times s will give me s squared. X times 3 will give me 3x. You can see this one is now reduced as x bracket s. So let me write out all the factors. So all the factors of this and this are, the first one we have x bracket x plus 3. That's for this. And for this one we have this. We have x plus 3 bracket x minus 3. Now, using the method we used earlier, you choose all the factors. You choose the highest power. Only x has, you have only one x. So the LCM, I'm bringing out what to multiply is, I have one x. I have x plus 3, but only one power. There's no one less to power 2. So it's just one power. So bracket x plus 3. X minus 3 is just only 1. Bracket x minus 3. So the LCM of these two algebraic expression is this. X bracket x plus 3 bracket x minus 3. That is their LCM. So finding algebraic expression, all you need to do is to express them as a product of their factors and choose each of the factor, you choose their highest power and multiply together. That gives you their LCM. And you're going to leave it this way. Assuming you're solving an algebraic question that involves you using LCM, maybe it's a fraction or whatever, you're going to leave it this way. That is the LCM.